Hello, Virgo. My name is NiJiLL. You have found Alchemy. Welcome to your August 2025 reading. As promised, I re-pulled the cards in the middle, so if you're watching the shuffle and you're wondering why these were already out, that's why. It's from your summer reading. We re-pulled the cards for August and we built a reading around it. Okay, so let's get started here. I'm going to summarize this in case you did not listen to the reading. It will not be as comprehensive, but it'll give you an idea of what this is about so you are not lost, my friend. Okay, so let's do this. We have the Ace of Swords, right? And this, even in this deck, and this is a huge deck, even in this deck, the Ace of Swords represents clarity, focus, truth, mental agility, and it is represented by the element of air, and that is its only association. In this deck, there are many associations that differ from the Rider Waite, but this is not one of them. Okay, so let's look at our larger cards here. You do have the Strength card coming in first, and Strength, as we know, is Leo based, right? And that is the number 8, and you could also see an infinity symbol above her head, which looks like an 8 as well. So an infinity symbol might mean something to you. It might be symbolic of something special to you. It is a repeating pattern that you might be addressing this month. That could be. This could represent Leo season, which, as we know, is upon us since July. Leo season also, Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is just like the Ace of Swords. It's clarity, it's happiness, it's insight. The Strength card could also mean that you're facing some sort of adversity, some sort of thing that you're finally standing up to. So you also have the Hermit, which is beautiful for you, right? This is your power card. This is Virgo's power card. And 2 major arcana, it's nothing to sneeze at here, especially with an ace, right? Perfect Virgo energy, that going deep inside yourself, moving into a power position with the Strength card and the Hermit card. You also have here the 2 of Swords, and the 2 of Swords, just so we know that the larger cards we take only in the upright, but we do take note of them when they come in reverse. And this is the only one that did originally come in reverse. And this is the 2 of Swords. It's Venus in Libra energy. It's crossroads energy, especially when it's flipped the way it is, coming in reverse and then straight. You may want to be free of a situation. That could very well be it. But look at this, right? To drive this point home, you have the 2 of Swords come out again in the sideways position. And you, whether you know it or not, in my readings, the sideways cards represent choices, right? More Venus in Libra energy. It's very telling that it came out twice, especially in that same group. There is a decision that you're going to be making, and you are perhaps moving out of, or being asked to move out of, a comfort zone here. This may be a situation that you have been in for quite some time, and whether it's good for you or not, whether you like it or not, it could be comfortable because you have been in it. It's like better the devil you know than the devil you don't. But I think that Spirit is trying to get you to readdress that way of thinking. You also have here the Knight of Pentacles coming in reverse, and this is Mercury in Virgo energy. And, you know, this is the slowest moving knight in the deck, but when it's in reverse like this, I wonder if things are starting to speed up this month. If you're going to drop that Virgo steadiness, that logic, that very like, let me really look at this, let me examine it, and just say something clicks and you just move, right? You also, and here, look, you have the 6 of Swords coming in right after that. And, the 6 of Swords is Pluto and Aquarius energy, moving away from something that may have been stagnant for you, or that may have been a comfort zone for you. Whatever it is, the situation you're moving away from was not promoting your growth. So you're addressing it. And what's interesting is when we add all this up just in this pile and we break it down, we get Pluto energy, right? That Scorpion energy. The change, that's important, right? It's unstoppable and it's necessary. Most of all, it is necessary change. Change that you might be forced to look at. Change that you may have been dragging your feet on here up until now, Virgo. Now looking at your overarching card, you have the water element, and it says, it is important not to allow your emotions to control your life. You have the power to control your triggers. Interesting. that may be true, and that is true, because you have the Ace of Swords, and that is logic. That I'm not saying not to use your emotions, but I do think they're going to take a back seat to your. There may be some sort of emotional situation that you're in that pulls on your heartstrings, and I think that you're going to choose logic over this for sure. Although the water card being present, you may be moving into more of, you may be using your intuition and your logic more than your feelings, if that makes sense. You have the copper element here on the table. And, you know, it is a powerful Venusian energy, as you can tell from the Venus symbol there. And it's a shift. It could be a shift in priorities, right? It's closely related to Venus. What does Venus rule? Venus rules our heart, but it also rules our money, right? So this could be a job situation that has gone stagnant. It could be a family situation. What was expected of you from your parents, from your spouse, from your significant other, from your circle, could be you're outgrowing it. Well, like I said, this also could be a job for some of you. You have Leo energy here. And what's interesting, you have cats, right? You have Leo, you have Puma. Wow, and you even have a cat down here. Look at this, right? Look at all these cats. It's usually, it's not typical, but you do have Leo. And, you know, like I said, we are moving into Leo season. Leo season will, it is sun energy, right? It's like we talked about, that brightness, that happiness, that clarity. Definitely look at the dates for Leo. I'm pretty sure it ends on the 22nd of August, so it's like most of the month. But you have clarity, happiness. This particular lion is a powerful leader, right? Cats might mean something to at least some of you, right? You may be drawn to cats. You may own a cat. You may just love the big cats, right? But there's cats here on the table, and there's many reasons for that here. You have the totemic Puma, power, right? Awakening. And there it is. There's your Puma card. It's more fire energy for sure. Cats are generally fire energy in general, no matter what form they come into, right? Coming into your power, and that's a stealthy energy. So you have power and you have stealth here on the table. So you do have some intuition with that stealth, and you do have the power of moving forward. Remember when I said that Knight of Pentacles will be upside down? Yeah. Here you have the blank ruin, and, you know, in the witch's ruins, this is your possibilities are endless. You make the right decisions this month, and you could really move on, get out of a comfort zone and level up. You have the letters Y, P, and K. That could be someone's initials, could be a location, could be an airport, could be a restaurant. Keep an open mind when it comes to these initials here, Virgo. Over here, yeah, look at this. You have slow and steady, right? And look, it's very much like this, right? You have slow and steady in reverse. What did we say? Slow and steady. It is in reverse. So it's sudden, fast movement, right? What may have once been slow and steady certainly isn't slow and steady right now. Yeah, maybe slow and steady is your mantra, but it won't be your mantra this month. If you decide to level up in this way, it might be a very quick decision that you make. You do have here the eternal child. And as you can see, that is number 4 in this deck. And there could be a parent that, you know, for some of you, for at least one of you, this is a parental thing. This is a sort of, as we talked about in your summer reading, a dogmatic situation, something that is, your parents expect X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying they're bad people, but there is a certain family expectation that you're outgrowing, that you're coming into your own about. For others of you, this could be, like I said, a job situation, but you're approaching this like the eternal child. What is the eternal child? Seeing things with the optimism of a child, something brand new. Remember the way we used to look at things as a child magically, right? People, they crap all over magical thinking, but sometimes it is just the thing we need, right? You do have basement. This is something that's been lingering a while, something that's been in your basement, so to speak, been in your energy. It's sort of stagnant now. Wait a second. You do have reassurance and protection. And this is my Norse deck. And she turns up when we have wandered on the wrong path, or perhaps stayed on a path too long to ensure our growth, which sort of goes with everything we have just been saying. Hopefully this will straighten out. If this doesn't refocus, I'll get a card to refocus. It says wishful expectations, and this is number 14 in this deck. Well, let me see if I can get this card to refocus. There you go. These cards refocus it pretty much right away, most of the time anyway. So yeah, people, places, and things. You have wishful expectations. Now the thing is, this could be the expectations of other people, right? Everybody's expectations in this situation might be different. Your expectations by the end of the month for yourself is going to be drastically different from a comfort zone that you have been in, or a cycle that you have been in for a very long time. So expect this change here for sure, Virgo. Okay, so here on your first leg, oh, by the way, you have these up. I'll do this too, but you have these 3 legs, and these 3 legs represent a third of your month each. Now, for some of you, it will definitely come in order, and for others of you, the last leg will be first, and it is not a science, so that's why we have to look at it in a very individual way. Now, back to this real quick. You do have dark man. It says dealings or relationships with a man with a dark complexion or hair. So there may be a dark man involved in this, right? There could be a dark... someone would, like it says on the card, a dark hair, dark complexion. Could be somebody that is fairly dark in their way of thinking, right? As compared to this optimistic look. You do have January. This person can be born in January, or this could have been something that stemmed from January of this year. This change could have started taking place, or maybe the seed was planted in January, maybe new year, new you type thing. You were kind of hopeful for a change, or you were, maybe a spark was lit at that time. Here's your cat card, right? It does say a two-faced friend, but I'm not seeing that, right? I'm seeing more of this cat energy. Very interesting energy, very different here, Virgo. So let's look at your legs here, right? On leg 1, it says disharmony, triggers, and conflict. It could be internal conflict, but I do think there is something being triggered here, and it's not as negative as it sounds. There is something that goes on that triggers something positive. I really believe it's a positive thing. It's a trigger. It's something that is triggered inside you, kind of like a key opening a door, and then the door opening like that. It's sort of a trigger like that, because my God, look at this lineup here. You have Spirit doubling down on the Ace of Swords, and this clarity that we talked about here has come out again, but it is coming in as a gift. Do you see that eagle carrying that wreath? This is coming in as a gift from Spirit. This clarity, this sudden insight, call it whatever you'd like, because look, it leads to the 10 of Pentacles. Mercury in Virgo energy, right? A stable, sort of unbelievable energy, right? That this clarity gives birth to this 10 of Pentacles energy, right? Important goal being, there is a goal being recognized. There is a goal that is coming into fruition. This could, generally speaking, it has to do with money, but it could just be a goal that has long-term value. And driving this point home, you have the 9 of Pentacles, and this is Venus in Virgo energy. But this is, you did this energy, right? This is a very independent energy. This is something you did on your own. Maybe it's an idea that you thought of all on your own, but this is very independent success. And when, ironically enough, when we add this up and we break it down, we get Leo energy again, because we get the sun. That clarity, that happiness, over and over again in this reading. You have that sun, at least so far. Here in your second leg, you have decisions. Yeah, I could see that with that 2 of Swords energy. You do have some decisions to make this month. You have the Queen of Swords, which is Saturn in Libra energy. And this is right next to that Ace of Swords. So you see she is now holding the sword. And yeah, this is you holding the sword, right? And don't get hung up on the sexes, right? You could be a he or a she, but right next to that sword, here you are, holding it. Analytical, intelligence, independence, integrity, but clarity and truth. Something is triggered inside you and you see truth. It's almost like someone lifts the blinders. And your middle card, which I always tell you is very important, you do have this childlike energy that we talked about here, the eternal child. You have the Page of Wands, Mercury and Sagittarius energy, middle card. Beautiful, even the right side for this card. new excitement. And it's right next to that 10 of Pentacles that we talked about. New excitement, new optimism, right? And you do have the moon coming in, and the moon is Cancer energy. And here's that intuition we talked about, right? You have that intuition that with that water card, right? Your intuition is going to be on point along with this clarity that you see. It's not emotions as much as it's your intuition, especially next to the 9 of Pentacles. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Mars energy, confidence, drive. On this leg, we have 2 number 9s. And, the number 9 means you're almost done. You're almost done. It's almost the number 10. You're almost at the finish line with something, excuse me, losing my voice, with something very important here, Virgo. You're on your last leg. You have this renewal and this spark, right? There is that spark, this renewal. Really nice reading. Really nice reading. You have the 8 of Cups, and that sort of makes sense, right? That Saturn and Pisces energy walking away from something that may have had you stuck in a comfort zone. And you see that child there. It could have been something that's been in your life for a very long time. Right next to the ace, right next to the queen. Yeah, whatever it is you walk away from, whether it's an idea of who you should be, whether it's a job, whether it's a way of thinking, whether it's something that other people have imposed on you, it triggers all this good stuff. And look, you have another ace. You have the Ace of Pentacles coming in right after that. So you have the 10 of Pentacles, which is that, that beautiful pentacle energy, right? That long-reaching energy. And you have it right next to that optimism, right? That new, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. Right, followed by the Ace of Pentacles, which is you really taking off on this idea. I love that for you. And this gives birth, interestingly enough, to the Devil. Now, yes, the Devil could be a slight warning, at least in this reading, could be a slight warning about Capricorn energy, by the way. And the Ace is just Earth energy. But this could be a subtle warning about being a slave to the material, because it looks like you're going to achieve some success. But I have to tell you, I'm feeling success, right? Because sometimes the Devil just means material success, right? On the success on that plane indicated. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Venus energy, which is Taurus, Libra energy. What did we say about Venus, right? It's success. It is money. It's money. It's also love, but it's money. And you have 2 number 6s here, which is manifestation of something bigger than you. There is a manifestation taking place here for you. Okay, now here are your challenges for the month. You do have third eye and messages. You're going to be receiving messages. Your intuition, is going to be very, very on point. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for you to listen to it, at least at some points this month. You are in a comfort zone that you're going to have to dismantle. You have the Emperor coming in reverse. This is Aries energy. Someone attempting to use their position of power in your life to control you. It doesn't have to be as ominous as it sounds. Could be, right? Could be a boss. Could be, it could be a religious thing. It could be your parents. But it could just be a little bit of a manipulation. Someone trying to manipulate you in some way using their power position. And like I said, that power position could be your parents, could be a boss, could be a religious indoctrination. But you have the sun here again. You have Leo energy again. It's going to be a challenge. But once you get through to this clarity, you can't unsee it, right? It's going to be rough initially to find that. But here you have the King of Wands coming in sideways. The King of Wands is more Leo energy. Sun in Leo. You have a lot of fire energy. You have Aries and double Leo as your challenges, right? And you have the King of Wands, Sun in Leo energy. It could be the timing, right? Because like we said, it's a Leo season. And this season ends on August 22nd, and then Virgo season begins. So it could be most of the month of August that this is really important, very important energy. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Mercury energy, and that's sort of doubling down on this month being important. But we have Mercury retrograde, right? And it might add to the confusion until August 11th. But don't forget, we have that post-shadow phase, right? So it could be all the way up until Virgo season, which is just what we talked about. It really does make sense, right? So there is some sort of confusion that might take place. There might be messages that you're receiving that initially feel confusing, but I promise you by the end of this time, I think you're really going to accomplish something if you allow it. Here in your opportunities, you have trust in divine timing. This is divinely orchestrated. The timing is perfect. If you, and look at this, look. Remember I said this devil energy could be looked at as material success. It is in your opportunities column in a different deck as well. There's your opportunity from leg 3. You're also going to have the opportunity here to figure out what the heck is causing all this anxiety. Or it could be anxiety, it could be stuckness, could be depression, could be you're not at ease. There's something making you ill at ease. Could be that conflict, internal conflict we talked about for some of you. But you're going to be able to see very clearly what has been causing it and get rid of it once and for all. You do have the Judgment card coming in sideways, and this is Pluto energy. Yeah, it is a calling. Do you see how you're being called to a higher purpose? And when I say that, it doesn't mean you're joining the priesthood. It means that you are being called to your higher purpose, something that will make you happy, something that has been presented to you in divine timing. Okay. You could be making a judgment call about it. You obviously are. It's coming in sideways. When we add this column up and we break it down, we get Saturn energy, which is Capricorn, Aquarius, sudden change. This can manifest initially as limitations, but they're ultimately opportunities, right? It's an opportunity for manifestation. Definitely. It's sudden change, sudden awareness, boom, right? Definitely. Let's grab one of these. I am going to pull one of these to close out your reading here, Virgo, but then I'm going to do your numerology, so hang in there. For Virgo, August 2025. Virgo, August 2025. You have the Alice in Wonderland deck, and this is all major arcana, and you have the Hanged Man, right? It's a release. It's a card of release. It's a card of seeing something from another vantage point, seeing something from a whole different aspect of yourself, for sure. Maybe seeing a sacrifice that you have made that is now unnecessary to make. It is Piscean energy, for sure. So let's look at your numbers now. We add all the numbers in this reading up and we break them down, we get Aries energy again. It's Mars. It is that confidence, that drive to push ahead. You're going to be experiencing that. A lot of fire energy with all these cats. It really, really is. The number that came out the most was interesting. It's a number 9, which is Mars energy again. Spirit doubling down on that fire-driven energy. It's very ambitious energy. The planet that came out the most was Mercury. So I really believe, well, it was a cross between Mercury and Venus, right? It's equal. It's on equal footing here. So you do have that Venusian energy, right? You also have that Taurus energy, Libra energy, Venus energy, which is and we've established in this reading, it is your money, it is your goals, right? And that's pretty interesting. And that Mercury retrograde period, I don't know, it's going to be important here, Virgo. The sign that came out the most was Libra. So it's Spirit doubling down on that Venus energy as well as that Mars energy. So you have Mars times 2, Venus times 2, and Mercury retrograde energy. Very important. The signs that came out in, for the reading itself were Scorpio, Virgo, Aquarius, Gemini, Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces, Aries, Cancer, Sagittarius, Libra, Virgo, and Leo. Leo was a close second, but Leo did not win this. Libra did, which is that Venus energy. Your hopes and your dreams are on the table. Definitely let me know how the cats pertain to you. Also understand that cats, they land on their feet, right? They have 9 lives. You have different facets to you, right? What may have worked for you a few years ago is going to be changing. You're changing. You are definitely shedding, and you are mercurial. Mercury is also your ruling planet. So this Mercury energy might be very comfortable for you for the change, unlike other signs. So keep that in mind here, Virgo. I wish you nothing but the best. Tune in for your birthday reading. It's going to be 3 blessings coming for just Virgo from 2025 to 2026 that will come during Virgo season. Namaste.